Hello, let's talk about controlling your units in Beyond the Horizon, starting with the basics. Most commands in the game can be issued in several ways. With a simple left click, by dragging with the left click, or by dragging with the right click. Some commands also have variants when holding Alt. For example, with the attack command, a left click attacks a specific target, left click drag performs an area attack, ordering units to attack all targets within that area, and right click drag spreads attacks along a drawn line. Throwing movement commands with right click should become a habit, as it allows you to adjust your formation to fit the situation. It's especially important considering that Beyond Horizon features a flanking mechanic. In short, if you attack a target from multiple directions, you deal more damage. Here is how it works. The first time you hit a target, the game marks the direction of that shot as the target's front. If you then hit it from a different angle, you get bonus damage, up to 200% if you hit it directly from the opposite side. This mechanic is fully 3D, meaning attacks from above, for example by bombers or high trajectory artillery, will also trigger the flanking bonus. It's always worth surrounding enemy units when possible and being mindful not to let your own army get surrounded. Positioning matters a lot more than you might think. Buildings have different heights, so be careful not to block your line of fire. For example, if you surround an LRT with wind generators, it won't be able to shoot anything. The same applies to your units. They try to avoid friendly fire, so they won't shoot if an allied unit is in front of them. You need to keep your army spread out, otherwise half of them might not be able to fire. On the other hand, some units don't care about friendly fire, especially those with large AoE or slow projectiles, like rocket launchers, SARs or Fat Boys. It's best to use them in hold fire mode to prevent accidental shots or wasting firepower on low priority targets like ticks. The downside is you will have to issue attack orders manually. Additional issue is that you can't use attack and move commands at the same time. That's why I prefer the set target command. You can mark a target for your units to prioritize. They will attack the target when in range, but still engage other threats when it's not. It's a much better option when you have to move around. Just remember to manually clear the set target when your priorities change. There is also the fight command, which works like attack move in other RTS games. Units move forward and automatically stop to attack enemies in range. It's useful for long range units so they don't overextend and walk into danger. In general, you don't need this attack move because most units can attack while moving. In my opinion, it's the best way to micro your units because they will prioritize more dangerous targets. For example, if a hound and a tick are in range, they will go for the hound even if the tick is closer. This is especially valuable for heavy hitters like starlights. They will ignore low value spam and focus more important targets. So while the fight command is safer when you are not paying attention, move offers better performance if you actively manage your units. Alright, let's sum up the various offensive options. Left click attack is great when I want to focus fire on specific position. For example, when I know there is a building outside vision or radar range, and I want long range units to nuke it. I mostly use it when the target is outside range because units will move into fire on their own. Left click drag, the area attack, is what I use to clean up leaks. You can order units to chase enemies and forget about it. Dragging a circle is also harder to misclick, so I often prefer it over direct attacks. Note, it only works on visible units or radar signatures. Right-click drag is for spreading attacks across an area, great for blind firing into enemy positions or lining up bombing runs. This is the best way to use bombers, paint targets with attack commands for reliable hits. It also lets you bomb underwater targets. Even if you can't target them directly, bombs will hit if they are in shallow water. Set target is for focusing down enemies while moving your units. You can also mark targets in advance so they get focused the moment they are in range, for example the cloaked commanders. Fight command is for pushing with long range units when you don't have time to micro them. It's also the preferred way to control fighters. Default attack is best when you have time to micro. Combine it with set targets when manual targeting is needed. Okay, and now onto something more peaceful. Repairing. All units with build power can repair other units. Repairing is extremely powerful. It's completely free and greatly improves your unit's cost efficiency, which matters a lot in early skirmishes. Units level up by dealing damage, gaining extra HP and DPS. Repairing helps keep them alive, giving them more time to gain combat experience. Res bots can resurrect any wreck which hasn't been reduced to debris. Resurrection costs 50% of the unit's energy cost and no metal. This is also incredibly strong. You can bring back the army for a fraction of original cost. The experience is lost though. You can automate res bots with fight or patrol commands. They will repair and reclaim as they go. If you hold Alt while giving the command, they will also prioritize resurrection over reclaiming. There are also some lesser known movement options worth mentioning. You can put selected units into formation by right-clicking while holding Alt. This places long-range units in the back and frontal units up front. If you move units while holding Ctrl, they will remain in formation and move at the speed of the slowest unit. There is also a gather wait command. When queued between other orders, units will only proceed once all selected units reach the gather wait command. It's useful for synchronizing complex actions, but honestly I rarely use it. Usually there is no time for that. Let's talk about something more practical. The auto groups. Like in any RTS, you can assign units to control groups, but Beyond the Horizon improves on this. Pressing Alt plus number assigns units to an auto group. New builds and resurrected units of the same type will automatically join the group. You can also combine multiple unit types in one group. For example, put all your frontline units in one group and long range in another. You can remove unit from its auto group with Ctrl plus tilde. Now let's talk about movement states. By default, units are set to hold position, but you can change these to maneuver or roam. Maneuver allows units to chase enemies slightly outside their range, and roam gives them a much longer chase range. Be careful, units will chase indefinitely and won't return on their own. I like to set grunts or pawns to maneuver so they don't just sit there while enemies walk past them. Res bots also benefit from this. If you put them on patrol or repeat fight command and you enable maneuver or roam, they will repair and reclaim in their surroundings. Unlike combat units, res bots will return to their starting position if no targets are in range. Constructor turrets are also affected by movement states. Maneuver assists only your own projects, roam assists allied players as well, and hold position assists only with building construction, not unit production. Maneuver and roam are also important if you want to guard the unit, because if you have units on hold position, they won't move towards enemies who attack your guarded unit. If you made this far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And here is one last trick. It's a good idea to patrol your spam units in front of your army to keep enemies at bay. But when enemy spam pushes in, your unit will stop to attack and get picked off easily. Instead of patrol, use the move command on repeat. This keeps your units mobile, making them harder to hit. Bonus points if you create a chaotic movement pattern. It will make them harder targets for artillery. If you have any questions, if something wasn't clear, or if you know another neat trick, leave a comment below. And if you are interested in base management, check out my previous guide. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.